Welcome to this week's episode of the Big Eyes podcast. Hey, this is Big Eyes 50. So
Yeah,
50 episodes. This is fun.
we on the Virgils. You know what I mean? We got Virgil coming up.
This is the Big Eye Virgil. This is the Virgil episode.
Oh man.
Hey, I'm gonna make the cover is gonna be Big Eyes in parentheses or in quotations. In quotations, it's gonna be Big Eyes in quotations. That's gonna be the cover for this week.
Oh
Oh
man.
man, that's funny as hell. Emil's gonna hate this cover. It's literally gonna say Big Eyes. It's gonna say Big Eyes 50, and it's gonna have the quotations, and that will have the episode name quotations at the bottom. It's gonna be on a straight white background too.
Like, folk go see this tomorrow. Like, bro, what is this? Like,
oh, they're gonna be mad. I need an anime Virgil face. I need someone to draw manga Virgil. Someone draw Virgil in a manga. Who would be Virgil's manga character? Who is Virgil in the manga verse?
I know there's one character. If you ever seen Classroom of the Elite, it's this one guy who gets perfect 50s on all his tests. Like, I think that's probably as close as we can get. Like, that's as close as we can get, dog.
Oh man, that's funny. He's a perfect 50s on the. Oh, who's the biggest biter in manga? Last week we talked about horrible friends. We need to go on a deep dive of who be biting people's styles.
Oh man, we got to make a rundown.
Who's the Virgil of manga? That's funny. Well, welcome guys to this week's episode. Big Eyes 50. Very happy to be here. Very happy to 50 episodes. Man, it's been a fun month, man. We had the 1 year. We got 50. It's the manga of the month episode, so we're gonna spend some time talking about reading Full Metal Alchemist. Was a fun read. I should have posted more panels, but
Hey man, you better than me.
There was another manga that kept taking up my time though, that we're gonna get into the new weekly segment of Where's Jamal at in One Piece.
Yo!
Don't give it up.
LJ.
Don't give it up.
AD.
Don't give it up.
Big Eyes.
Don't give it up.
Here back on the Straw Hat journeys of me reading One Piece. I am I'm on Fishman Island, and the princes just beat up the sea beast.
Oh man.
So no, Fishman Island's cool, but I really need to talk about Marineford how that right there, that was some heat rock. That was some goddamn heat rock.
Peak fiction.
That was peak, bruh. That was some peak One Piece shit right there. So far, that's some of the best shit I've read. That is the best shit I've read so far. That shit is absolutely crazy. Oh man, seeing like fucking Ace die, seeing Whitebeard die, that whole battle, seeing Luffy just fucking flex it all the way there. Luffy was off the goddamn Quaaludes, dog. He was motherfucking taking them energy hormones like it was nothing. He was like, pump me.
That man had steroids, fentanyl.
Man, it's crazy, bro. Seeing Whitebeard pull up for the first time. That boy, that trimmer fruit, nothing to play with. That motherfucker, nothing to play with. Like, crack the universe.
You see, that's why Blackbeard had to pull up and did some magic with that shit. It's like, oh man, you like when Blackbeard pulled up on that fight, it's just like, what's gonna happen next? Because everybody's already injured. Whitebeard done lost like so many folks. Oris Jr. done died, and it's the whole journey from Sabati all the way to Fishman. You got to think all of this happened within like I think a week. And for Luffy to go from exactly like for Luffy to like go to Sabaody, punch the Celestial Dragon, have his whole crew wiped out by Kuma, end up at Amazon Lily, like go through all of these hoops and hurdles by himself just to save his brother when he finds all that information out. And you see, like, no, I gotta save Ace. That's my brother. Like, that's my day one. He's the reason, like one of the reasons I became a pirate. So we gotta go. And he goes through hell. Like Impel Down, I compare to like actual literal hell. Like it's like Dante's Inferno because you got the
Oh
six
yeah,
way.
bro.
It's
They got all the different levels. Like the lowest level or level 6 is the one that's all frozen. That is like Dante's Inferno. That really is some Dante's Inferno type shit there. That shit was crazy. It was cool too of just like, they bring back all these, a bunch of past characters.
yeah.
You see Buggy, you see Crocodile, you see all of you know, just a bunch of past people that have either Luffy is beat up, beat up and befriended after, or beat up and put in jail. So, it was cool seeing all of them like kind of come together and just seeing how they in a sense they work together, but at the same time you see all of them having their own motives on
Yeah.
why, and like seeing all that come together. It was really fun to to read all that, and all the reveals that happen, like Buggy is fucking Shank's blood brother, and you figure out really like who Ace really is, and that boy is like Goldie's secret son.
Yeah.
And you learn about the hockey power and how Luffy has the the supreme hockey, like all of this stuff. And it's cool how all that happens in the midst of a bunch of just chaos.
Yeah.
Like that whole shit just from top to bottom is chaos, but like it's cool because you have the war looming, you have Luffy once again trying to break his brother out. So in a sense, it's a chaotic situation anyway, and they really lean into it. Like people on different levels at multiple times. You got multiple different things happening at different levels. Cats outside waiting. This whole time, Ace is on the goddamn chopping block. Hey, they were dumb though. Like they were. Hey, the Marines are dumb though. The
Oh
Navy
yeah.
is dumb. Like if you really wanted to off him, like you should have just brought him up there and got it done. They really waited. They waited for like some bullshit to happen. Like
Of course.
they were not smart about this shit
Of
at
course, they
all.
wanted to make it. Well, here's the thing: it's like two things with that. One, they wanted to make like a public statement that like Ace is Roger's son, and so if we kill Ace right now, the whole pirate era should end because he's the last person. He's like the blood of like the old generation. But then you got Whitebeard, who's like coming to this fight to save his son. It's like the whole theme I see of, well, you'll see it later on, but the biggest theme of like Whitebeard is family. And you'll see it later on with like other people, like when you get to those points. But like the theme with Whitebeard is family. So when you have like
He a real
Ace B,
nigga. Hey,
yeah,
Whitebeard a real nigga, bro.
he's
Whitebeard a
a
real
goat.
nigga. He's a
He
real
is the
nigga.
best. Top five people in One Piece for me, like probably top three.
I'm about to get swole now. I gotta get swole because Whitebeard swole. Hey, Whitebeard
Bro,
like 72. Hey, it be man.
this
Listen,
man was
like,
sick and old and did so much damage, dog.
bro, he was done. Man, he was out of there. That boy he was old. He needed a cane to get up. Them knees was creaky. I
Exactly. And
mean,
he
hey,
still crashed this whole island, bro. Like,
he was over it, man. Hey, it's crazy when you think about like how Eastern cultures, like Japan, all them, like how they portray old people and how like we portray old people in like Western civilization. Like they have
yeah.
like a real respect for their elders. Like you
Yeah.
read manga and stuff, like look at the old characters in like manga, like they're not always like old and brittle and stuff like that. Like the motherfuckers be strong as hell. They be like, yo, yeah, he's
Yeah.
70 and you look at how we draw like old people and look at old people in like cartoons and stuff. They always flabby and sick and
Exactly.
like,
We can't be old and like muscular. Like, what's going on? Like you you got Roshi, you got Genkai, you got all these folks, bro, like just old, just like still doing numbers, work on the young folks. Like, yeah, I ain't lose my
man,
touch.
Biscuit,
Biscuit?
she was like, I'm motherfucking 65, bro. She coming
Exactly.
that muscle
Netero?
form, bro. Bro, listen, they got my love for the elders over there. I like it. I love how they portray elder people. Like it's cool. like how they portray him, because like you said, like Whitebeard like 70 years old in this, and still they pretty much is like, bro, he literally has the power to destroy the earth if he wants to. Like that boy could
Exactly.
really, like he could really tear down the earth if he wants. So it was cool though, just to see how he pulled up. He had the ships under the water just chilling. He was waiting. He was like, just wait. We
Exactly.
about to. He was like, oh, you thought that was the last ship I had? He said, fuck out of here. At the ship in the tuck too. Man, that shit was tight. Hey, we gotta talk about how all the admirals are niggas. Yeah, all three of the three
Oh
admirals,
yeah,
niggas,
yeah,
they all
yeah,
black. They
yeah.
all black.
Kizaru is the coldest. Kizaru and well, fuck Akainu. That nigga scum. That nigga dirt. Like, fuck that nigga. That nigga a shiesty motherfucker. But Kizaru and Aokiji, them some real niggas.
Hey, Aokiji go crazy, bro. Hey, Aokiji got what you call it? Aokiji got the Smino hair. That boy could break that up if he wanted to. He had the Smino puffs. Just poking out the back of the hat. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like that tidal wave was coming. The tidal wave was coming. It was about to be over. And he was like, "Nope, ice age." He said, "Stop all this." He said, "Chill." Literally, chill. That's funny as
Exactly.
hell. Man, like, no, just Marine Four was just dope. Like, it got me like so emotionally invested, and especially learning like the backstory of Ace, Luffy, and Sabo, and like I can't like all that. It was just really cool to see, man. It was really cool just to all the connections. It was crazy too to see them. They made that time skip, and we're about to get into another big chapter that always drops a goddamn bomb on the manga of the month episode. Every single time, every
Yeah.
time we gotta do a manga of the month episode, they drop a bomb. They just completely intrude on what the fuck we trying to do.
Hey man, first of all, we deserve this chapter because they was on break last week, and it's like, damn, so we could have had
Oh
this written.
yeah, bro. Hey, listen. He's like, I got my birthday. I'm gonna take this week off. I'm gonna come back
Yeah,
with some heat for y'all though. Just let me. He was turning up, quarantine turning up. But no, like one thing though that like One Piece did really well, because this is pretty much the end until the time skip happens.
yeah,
One cool thing that they do though is that with that time skip is that they really do stamp a end of an era. So
yeah,
the deaths of Ace and Whitebeard were really really meaningful in terms of like the world of pirates, because Whitebeard was really like, in a sense, I'm not even in a sense, he was the king of pirates at the time. Like they wouldn't say it, but like for the time that he was, that little era, like he was really running shit after Goldie. Like
yeah.
he,
They claimed him as like the world's strongest pirate.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like he was really one of them ones that like even in his territories, they're talking about like his territories are mad peaceful because no one want to run up on that island because no one wanted the issue with the man.
Exactly.
And it's cool though that like his death really kind of like ended all that, in a sense of
Yeah,
like it ended this like era of peace, and now we're going to this era of like, dog, I don't know what the hell about to go on. Like Blackbeard now got two devil fruit powers, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
Ace dies, and like, Luffy's seen as this goddamn super rookie. So, you're looking at the progression of him and his crew. Like it is really crazy how they like kind of put that stamp on that time era. And that really does, especially as a fan, especially for people who even talk about One Piece, they always talk post time skip and like, pre time skip. And
yeah,
it's cool because they have like a solidative, like this was the end of this era, and that whole first pre time skip is like that whole era, and then now that post time skip feels like a whole different era of piracy, and like you see where everybody's at. Like even you get the Fishman Island. Like it's been 2 years since you seen Jinbei, and like it's cool to
yeah.
you got that, you got the Fisherman Pirates. Like it's really crazy. It's really really crazy. But I love how they made it like feel like really two separate like eras.
Yeah. And I think when you go back to like reread stuff, like this is why I kind of consider like Skypiea my favorite because it all ties into this. Like at the end of Skypiea, you hear Doflamingo talk about the new era or the new age is coming in. And he has this whole monologue and dialogue about it in Marineford. And you just like see all the connections come together. One of my favorite things about One Piece in general is like the dynamic between different pirates. You see all of them fight for a different cause. Like Luffy's thought of King of the Pirates means freedom. Buggy's is like money. Whitebeard's is family. And you see all of these different like as you go down the line, you see like who all these captains are, how their different dynamics are, what they're truly fighting in. And when you see them trying to reach out and shoot for their dreams, and you have the Marines here like, we got to stop this because at the end of the day, all pirates are bad. Well, not all pirates are bad because as you can see, Luffy has never really outright tried to like take over a country. In fact, all the countries that he's ever been a part of, even up to post time skip, he's always trying to save. Like when you see it in Fishman Island, they have been oppressed for so long. Like all of these people went into slavery. I don't know if they talked about that yet, but did they talk about Fisher Tiger and all the stuff that happened with him yet?
He was a slave first, and like how he freed the slave. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, why always the fish people in comics and stuff got to be like the revolutionary, like Umar ass, like Hotep ass niggas, bro. Look at Aquaman. Hey, goddamn Black Manta. This nigga Van said, bro. This nigga Van said, I think a Manta is just Umar of the sea, bro. Like,
Oh my god.
that's one thing, bro. If there's some fish people in a comic or a manga, best believe, man, they finna be on they gonna be on they Black Panther shit. Some goddamn, hey, they gonna be on some. Listen, we ain't effing with the whites around here. Every time you look at a fish character, they always on some revolutionary civil rights shit. And it's on some Black Power. Why do black people got to be fish? Why the black movement always got to be dealing with fish people?
Oh shit, bro! I ain't got no answer for that one because that shit
Bro,
crazy. That
listen.
shit crazy when you really think
Listen, bro.
about it.
Hey, bro. Listen, it's always some Malcolm Martin shit when it comes to fish characters. I don't understand why it's always some Malcolm Martin shit when it comes to fish characters. It's
Why
always
we
some
gotta be
Malcolm Martin
oppressed?
shit.
Like
Why we gotta be
I'm trying to
always,
step
bro?
on land too. Like what you mean?
Man, it's always some shit that's funny as hell. That's the whole time I was reading this. I was like, dog, why every time I should have known it was gonna take this turn. It should have known it was take this turn.
Hey, but Jinbei a
Oh
real nigga
man, but
though.
nah,
All them niggas is real niggas, dog.
no, Jinbei a real name. Yeah, yeah. Even Jinbei got an African name. Look at that, man. Like, man, I'm over it. I'm over it. But nah, man, One Piece is continue to stay tuned on my One Piece updates. But if I'm at Fisherman Island, I'm flying through this shit. I'm be hitting you up. I'll be like 100 chapters like ahead. You be like, damn, dog. you be lost on how far I be in it.
Because I haven't like I've watched and read it like every now and again, probably once a month. I'll go and just like rewatch an arc. So I think I did Fishman Island probably in June ish, and I did like Dressrosa in July. So I'll go like between each arcs. So
Hey, I'm ready for Punk Hazard. Everybody keeps talking about Punk Hazard.
Punk Hazard is where everything starts to kick up. Like Fishman Island gives you like the background. It shows you how far like Straw Hats have come. It's like a really good thing. And there's like key details in like Fishman Island. But Punk Hazard is when like shit is like starting to kick off. Like when you get there and you see like everything that's about Punk Hazard and then going into Dressrosa, it's like, oh shit, this shit is crazy.
Hey, I'm here. Hey, listen, I'm only there because that's what I heard. That's when Law really shows up and Law gets to doing this shit.
Bruh, what?
Hey, listen, bro. The introduction of Law was the coldest thing I've ever seen. I was like, oh, I know who's shooting at the top of the rankings. We
Hey,
out
bro,
here.
just wait.
My nigga got the tats. My nigga got the middle finger. He got the rings. He got the little beanie on. I was like, nigga, hell yeah, this nigga came through flea as hell. I'm like, man, listen, I'm here for it.
Wait till you see the
We
post
low
time
high.
skip drip with the coat. The coat, that shit is crazy. Like,
All right, man, we about to turn up. We about to turn up, but we got another big manga that's looking like, man, this week better has solidified, like they jumping a couple years after this shit. After
Yeah.
everything they're revealing,
Yeah.
after everything they done revealed, after everything that done spewed out, everyone that's done returned, all that, like, y'all better jump ahead a couple years after this.
Exactly. Like I need to see like Japan like going to like a big divide, especially after what happens at the end of this chapter, bro. Like all the stuff that happened, like that was probably the one thing I never expected. Like I expected it at some point, but like for it to happen this quick, this soon.
Bro, they did it out of nowhere. Like, I'm really surprised. Like, that's, you know, we're talking about My Hero Academia right now. You know, the you know, the climax of the ending of the, I don't know where the hell they at anymore. There's just a lot of shit going on now. It's just a lot of shit. You know, Davi, you know, G Mac is there. He got Shigaraki in hand. Goddamn, Best Genius came down. He caught them cheap denim. He said, "Y'all boys some Lee jeans." He said,
Y'all
y'all
some
some
Wrangler.
Wranglers. Y'all some Wranglers. Yeah. We ain't fucking with it. Y'all go they on the Amiri Busters page. They got the fake Amiris on. He was not rocking with them. He was not rocking them. He's
Oh
like, these are not Amiri jeans. Your
man,
your
these
your joints
straight
are
from Rainbow, straight from Jimmy Jazz.
man straight from Jimmy Jazz. He said these the Rue 21 specials.
Boy, put on some Dickies. Like,
Yeah, bro. Hey, chill, bro. Chill on the Dickies.
hey, bro, I
On the
love
Dick-
Dickies though.
Hey, hey, shout out to the dog Cam. The first, hey, the homie Cam was the first nigga ever with the skinny Dicky suit. I have never seen it before. The homie Cam, I promise to God, bro. I said it on, yeah, he's the first nigga ever with the skinny Dicky suit. I was like, he pulled up with it. I was like, is that stacked? I was like, is your stacking at the bottom? I was like, that's crazy. I've never seen this before. Oh man, but nah, man, he came down. He came down talking mad, like, you know, he Best Genius really came down on some like first day of school outfit, you know, talking shit and level talking shit. Like, he came down fresh press and got to just dissing niggas jeans and denim quality. It was like, I'm out of here with this. And he came down on straight business, threaded
yeah,
everyone up, dog.
yeah,
Threaded everyone up. Man, Baku, everyone's surprised because everyone really thought he was dead. Everyone's like,
exactly.
man, they're like, that's a real body. And I was like, nah, psych. And he was like, whatever. I shed the denim skin like a snake. It was like, so man, he comes through. You know, big reveal. You know, shows his powers. Dobby is like, you know what? Um, I'm still on bullshit. And he lets off like power three powerful ass flame moves within like a minute, and his stomach is probably screaming for help.
That man
His
got the
stomach is
bubble
gone,
guts.
bro. The bubble, man, more than that, goddamn volcano guts, man. Them joints is done. The magma guts is over, bro. You know, he lets off like three fire attacks wildly too. He shoots what's her name out
Hado.
the air. He shoots Hado out the air immediately. Blasts her. You know, Shoto got to pull up now because Bakugo and Deku can't move. Deku's spending like this whole time, you know, just trying to help out. You know, Shigaraki is G-Mac, the go. He's like, man, F this, destroy everything, you know. And so G-Mac is, you know, starting to catch his second win. Villain, you know, Dabi's out. You know, him and Shoto are looking like they're about to get in a little tussle. Shoto's pulling up because, you know, his dad is, everyone's out of commission. So really, right now it's on the B team right now, captain of the B team and whoever else.
Yeah,
And you know, the high end Nomus, they're still, you know, wreaking havoc. They're coming, they're pulling up. And you know, there's all this chaos. Deku, once again, he's reverting. He looks like he's about to revert back to the tears of I can't help my friends. Oh my gosh, woe is me. I'm on the ground. I can't move a body, but I have to go super duper plus ultra. And in the midst of all this, the big return of a top 5 hero. A top 5 hero. Let me say it again. A top 5 hero for those who come on here on the internet talking about this boy ain't top 5. young Mirio pulls up on some, hey, I'm back.
Cash Money La Millionaire, goddamn, you feel me? Like,
La Millionaire Records for the 99 and the 2000, man.
bruh, I did not see that coming at all. I was like, yo, my
You
dog.
know, he comes out of nowhere. It really, I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest. I'm gonna be real. I don't know how I feel about this fully. Like, part of me is really
Same.
excited because he's a very fun character. Like, I love Mirio. Mirio's a really cool character. I love his character design. I love, his powers. Like, he's just a dope character, in general. And he pops back up. So obviously, as a favorite, I'm hyped. But in terms of where the hell this fits in to the grand scheme of things and where this fits in and where this story is at right now, it left me a bit confused. I'm like, what the, I don't I'm just lost on what this really means for anything else. Like, it's cool, it's a big pop, it's like, oh shit, he's here, and then now it's kind of like, boy, like, hold on, time out. Like, what does this
Yeah,
really mean? Like,
yeah.
what does it mean for any of this?
So it raised so many questions because, like, we know that his powers got taken by the bullets way back with Overhaul. And so we're just thinking, like, we know at some point Eri could control her powers and like reverse. We assumed it was the rumor that we assumed that Eri could revert powers, change them back, so Mirio could eventually get his powers back, and the thought process could be the same for All Might. Like, we're assuming that. So to see Mirio come here at this point in time, like pre-time skip, like, it's crazy. I did not see that at all. One thing I do want to point out is back with the high ends and Endeavor's agency burning, there's a panel where she's about to get attacked by a Nomu and something hits the Nomu in the side. I want to know who that is because it's like we see Mirio at the end of this chapter, but we have no idea what this is. Like, are there reinforcements coming? Is Eri doing these things? Did she get enough control of her power? Like, there are so many questions that have been raised just by Mirio appearing alone.
It's true. It draws up a question of, okay, so he gets his powers back. We're all speculating that Erie is the reason why he got his powers back. So now what is she gonna do? Like you said, in a pre-time skip, once again, it's all speculation that a time skip is coming after this.
Yeah,
But we're going to, I feel like this right now, what they're doing in this story is very similar to what One Piece did in terms of this battle really does feel like an end of an era. No, especially for heroes. And even Best Genius speaks to this in this chapter of, Dabi, know that hero society was already on shaking ground.
yeah,
And what Dabi did wasn't, that shit was not helping at all, and it's pretty much was going to collapse everything. Hero society as a whole pretty much just revealed. And part of him really coming back was him trying to like show, like, hey bro, heroes are still here, like, even though there's a lot of bullshit going on, like, we're still here. So doing all this, and all this reveals it. It does draw a question of, okay, what is Erie's role going to be after this? Are they going to try to do something with All Might to try to hope, like, get him to get his powers, which I hope they don't do. And I really do feel like it's not something that they will do at all. I do think Erie's going to play more of a role in how Deku heals up, because
yeah.
you know even when you go a few chapters back, when in the heat of the battle between him and Shigaraki, he talks about, like, there's a point where he thinks about, like, his body and about his arms, and thinking about, like, the doctor telling him, like, bro, listen, you mess around and just turn your arms into noodles again, you ain't ever gonna use them shits ever. So there's definitely a moment where he understands the damage he has done to his own body throughout this battle. So I know that she's gonna play probably a big role in healing him and probably healing some other people. I don't see her doing anything for All Might, and I hope they don't do anything for All Might in terms of get him to bring his powers back, or anything like that. I feel that his once again, if we're gonna end a definitive era in superhero society, there's zero reason for him to ever come back, because even his his
The
him losing his powers in a sense and him using the last of his powers was seeming as like that beginning of the end. And like this part now is like the definitive, like that golden era of hero shit is over.
yeah,
That, like, you know what I'm saying? So for them to ever use Erie to like bring his powers back would just feel very pointless to the story of like that doesn't help anyone in this at all.
yeah,
Especially because another big thing is that Deku has to learn how to use this power and make this power his own. So All Might coming back with powers and then coming back to, help Deku out is I just don't see that helping. So, but the big Muriel reveal is cool to let us know that okay, so she's starting to get control of her powers. Now how can she help out in other ways throughout this story?
yeah. And she's still pretty young. Like she's like what 4 years old. I think the only way that All Might would play any role if they decided to go the route of All Might getting his powers back somewhat, the only way that I could see him showing up, if at all, within the next few chapters would be to like die at this point, because that would solidify ending the
Oh
old
yeah.
era. That will probably be the only way, because there are so many death flags that have been waving around All Might to begin with since the beginning of the story, and for him to die at this point, to like come when everybody's down in their last, everybody's just like gassed out, and we have Muriel coming back, and he was already seen with All Might and Eri, I think, in chapters ago. Like we forgot complete. I forgot about it. I need to go reread that too. But it's very telling or very interesting to think about the ways that they could use All Might, because All Might himself as a hero I don't think he would want to sit by and stand by while he sees the world get thrown into chaos by villains. All Might's biggest thing was just to like be a hero to protect people, and he saw with Deku, when Bakugo first got attacked by that slime villain way back. He's like, I can't do anything right now. Like I'm stuck. And Deku's first reaction was to jump forward, and they had that whole spiel about that. So for him to come out at this point and see, like, yeah, I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of everything that you've done. Let me take care of this last moment. I think it would be dope for All Might to have like a white beard esque like death, and like go out right here in this moment. That would be dope. That would be
Hey,
the only
if
way.
he gets healed, hey, that would be cold if they heal him. Like that, if that is what ends this chapter is him like trying like getting healed to do one more whatever.
Yeah,
He can mess around and like knock out GMAC or some shit. But then again though, it's like who's gonna kill him? That's the point though
it
of
would be
like
Shigar. I would say it would be Shigaraki.
but
Shigaraki.
Shigaraki's already like he's already on his like he ain't got nothing left in the tank. He's done.
Yeah,
Shigaraki can't kill him now. I think you got to say that death for like way later in the series.
yeah,
Like if you're really gonna kill him, but I mean, I think that's gonna be something way deeper down the line. But I mean, if they did ended up killing him here, I would understand. I see what you're trying to say though, is that he really would be the complete stamp on like the nail in the coffin of that this shit over. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
Hero Society is gonna be much different. So I don't know, man. I'm excited. The reveal is fun. He comes back, he comes back screaming power. That was heat. He got the fresh suit, the fresh linen. Man, listen, best genius hooked him up. He was like, listen, I'm gonna hit you with my thread lady's number. I'm gonna hit you with my tailor's number. Let you know, how we get down around here. No, man, it was a good reveal though. I mean, really big. I think like this is just something no one was expecting at all. Like even when the
Yeah.
leaks dropped, you couldn't even read. You should not have read MHA spoilers. Looked up MHA spoilers, and you would have been in complete shock of. Hey, for
I made
real,
sure to
like no,
avoid all of that.
man, listen. Now, I mean, this was something completely out of the blue. And like we said before, like all of these things coming out of the blue, all these reveals, all these returns, is really letting us know, like, okay, I think really right now it's cool that they brought him back though to let us know that he's still gonna play a prominent role in like this new era of heroes that's gonna be
Yeah,
coming up soon. Like
yeah,
he's definitely gonna be one of the. I mean, he's gonna definitely be the leader until I feel Deku and Bakugo get to his point.
exactly.
Um, in his strength level. So, man, I mean, no, that was exciting. And then MHA also dropped some other news this week. They're coming. No, the third movie is coming.
Yeah, yeah. So here's the thing about that. They dropped the teaser poster or whatever, and they got on the iciest fit. That shit is clean as fuck. I'm not gonna hold you, but I just
The
got
fits are clean. The fits are heat. No,
yes.
they went dummy with the fits. I mean, that was everyone was talking about. So yeah, yeah. No, the fits are absolutely crazy.
But one thing I do want to point out is if you look at the fits and they got on the crest on the side, it says WHA. And so I'm pretty sure everybody's if you haven't thought about it, it's probably the World Hero Association. So I think we're about to get to the point where it's about to start introducing all the world heroes. Like I just don't know what point in the story will this take place, because if you think about it, the last two movies always take place like in the season before. Like the first movie was in between 1 and 2, or I think 2 and 3, and then this one, the most
Oh
recent one,
no,
just came out.
the second movie was way ahead.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
The second movie
Yeah,
was they
after
introduced.
season 4.
Yeah, second movie. I don't know why that second movie was way ahead of where everyone was at. I don't like people were confused. I know a few like who weren't manga readers. The anime only
Yeah,
people were probably confused as hell. Like who the hell is this Hawks? Like how the hell did Deku get this black whip power and all this? Like you know what I'm saying? Like they introduced a fucking lot
yeah,
in that movie that was way like
yeah. It wasn't like way. I think it was like 3 weeks ahead. I Well, if it came out in Japan, it was definitely way ahead, because it's like, bro, what the fuck? Like, Japan got the movie in like November or something like that, and at that point, I think we were still at the beginning of like the overhaul stuff. But we get the movie over here, and we haven't even seen Endeavor. Like they just started talking about the Endeavor stuff. I think we just got done with all the overhaul. They did the gentle stuff a little bit, and now we're getting introduced. So it's like I could pull it to the movie theaters, and everybody's like, "Who is Hawks? Who is this Hawks nigga?"
yeah, but I'm
Like,
saying, man, they introduced a lot in that. They introduced a lot in that whole story. So, but yes, the costumes are tight. I didn't even peep the World Hero Association thing until you said that. I really hope that this thing takes place in a whole nother country or something. First of
yeah,
all, that poster tagline fucking sucks. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, yeah.
Or he will meet the three musketeers. I was like, what?
That's the
That's the
most
best.
corniest.
I was like, that's the best you got. That's the best you got. And I was like, that sucks. Yeah,
Am I
but
supposed to care who he is anyway? Like,
I don't know, man. I'll say this: the fact that we're getting a third movie. I mean, MHA is. I think they're playing a dangerous game with this third movie. Personally,
yeah,
personal opinion, I think they're playing a dangerous game. They're gonna reach fatigue. I feel like, especially you're gonna center another movie around these three characters.
yeah,
Um, so if we're getting another movie, obviously centered around Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki, I really hope it takes place in a completely different setting. We're gonna get all new, different characters. Um,
I want to see
and
Todoroki get more shine in this movie, because
I mean,
last movie
hopefully, yeah,
was Bakugo.
hopefully it feels like an even playing ground instead of
Yeah.
the three musketeers when is like Deku and the Jets, you know what I'm saying, the Deku and the Heroettes, you know what I'm saying, shit. Like like they're making it seem that they're all three on equal footing, but I
Destiny's Child.
yeah, Destiny's Child, hey, chill. I'm gonna tell Mills to skip
Deku
to the 40-minute mark so he can talk shit to
Beyonce.
you.
Deku Beyonce.
Exactly, he is. But no, like he really is. But no, like for real, it's just if they're gonna do a third movie, I was hoping that they did something with some other characters.
Yeah,
Did something that would help shine some other characters. Even with the movie, especially because all the movies are gonna be non-canon anyways.
yeah,
They're never gonna make a canon MHA film, so if they're gonna do non-canon stuff, I would like them to, if you got the more freedom to play with different characters and do stuff with different characters, I would love to see that. But we're going back to these three, so man, hopefully we get something different. Because that second movie, although we had the big, Bakugo Deku moment, man, listen, I definitely go back and watch the first movie way more than I haven't even. I don't even think I've even rewatched the second movie yet.
I rewatched the second movie. I went to go see the second movie like 2 or 3 times. My thing is, I like the second movie, but what kills me compared to the first movie that I discovered after the second movie was the final scene with Deku and Bakugo. The music killed me. I ain't gonna hold you because the music is this lady singing, and I'm just like, dog, what happened to the hype action? You
Yeah,
know,
bro.
All
Like
Might swooping in, like Deku going
no,
lightning streaks,
they
tapping
ruined
into the Speed
the
Force.
music, the reasoning behind Deku getting the power back, like all that shit, bro. Like that second movie was. So I mean, we're getting a third one. We're getting the same three characters again. So I'm like, bro, listen, if you're gonna have to feed me this again, bro, you better remix this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you better do something fun with it. So
It can't be
um
it can't be nothing crazy. It can't be nothing simple like, oh, this time we're gonna give Todoroki all for one or one for all. Like
no, hell no, bro. They do that shit. Hey, listen, they do that shit. I might fuck around. Hey, I'm gonna turn the heel turn. The heel turn. Oh, I'm gonna turn on these niggas. They hit some shit like that. They gonna be talking about these boys like they super. They not gonna like it. Oh man. So, we have spent a very good majority of this episode talking about everything but what we really came here to talk about, which is
yeah,
the manga of the month. Um man, thank you to everybody who voted. This manga of the month was Full Metal Alchemist that we read. God, what an all-timer. What an
man,
all-timer right here. Our theme was family, and what a great one to choose about
yeah,
family,
man.
because not only are the Elrics kind of fucked up, just everybody's family is fucked up in this
Yeah,
one.
like everybody, like the most perfect family that I saw in this entire story was Hughes. Like
Hey,
I
RIP.
think, yeah, Hughes was the goat. I ain't gonna hold you. Hughes was the reason like all of this shit started to go a different way. Like, but I do appreciate like Full Metal Alchemist. If you haven't read it, if you haven't watched Brotherhood or the original, I suggest you do it because it's a classic. It's probably like top 5 most complete manga, best story. You can go in and discover so many different things that you wouldn't see on the reread or rewatch. It's like it's so good. I think it's what made a lot of people manga and anime fans. I know it kind of helped for me because I was one of those people who watched the original like on Adult Swim way back, and so my first time diving into this story, as far as the manga, I will say I love the manga. But I think it would be like if you had a choice, if you put a gun to my head and say like, yo, which would you prefer, the anime or the manga? I would be like Brotherhood, no doubt, full stop. Like go watch Brotherhood. The manga is dope. It's fantastic too. But Brotherhood just elevates everything that happens in the manga even more.
Very true. I agree with that. Like, I feel that reading, the one thing that I truly appreciate about this manga, first of all, we back here, baby. We short manga hive, 108 chapters. We're here,
Yeah.
short manga hive. But one thing I really enjoy about this manga is that it really feels like, this is gonna sound really weird. This feels like a story. And I feel that most mangas feel like an adventure. This
Yeah.
feels like a legit story.
Yeah.
From everything of learning, of Ed and Al's background to, like, the origins of alchemy, and, like, the deeper you get into that and the forbiddenness of alchemy, like, this just feels like just a full-blown, like, story, and it really dives you into this world. I really don't want to get into the, like, I really don't want to get into the deeper meanings of this, and that really means, I'm not gonna really get into that, all of that. But no, but like, when you really read this though, like, man, there is a lot of deeper connections throughout this story that they continually, like, could either connect back to a reference, like,
Yeah.
everything, like, is intertwined really well, and they always have, like, this very much sense of mystery that happens throughout this story that keeps you wanting more, and keeps you wanting to turn to the next page, and to go to the next chapter. And I just really enjoy about it. I do agree with you though that if, gun to my head, there's someone was like, "Yo, you either gotta watch it or read it." I'm gonna choose watching it. I think that the animation is this. Like I said, this is a great story. like reading it, as a manga. I think the animation though is just that perfect cherry on top that just brings everything, that just ties like everything so well together.
Yeah.
um it just, it adds, the, like, even the moment when the funniest moment in the manga, but in the anime is actually sad, is Mustang after Hughes dies. He goes, "It's raining." He's like,
That's
"No,
not
it's
supposed to
not."
be
He
sad.
was like, "Bro, that's so
That's
unintentionally funny, so unintentionally funny."
I'm not
And
supposed to laugh at.
you're not supposed to laugh at that, but when you read it in the manga, it's hilarious. But like when you actually like watch it in the anime, it's actually like really sad and like really somber. You're like, damn, like my dog's homie just, he really sad for his dog. You ever, and this is the first time, and Hughes Mustang dropped like one tear, like it was just like
Yeah.
one little tear, but for his dog. But no, man, like I think the animation just livens this up to a point where you're like, okay, this is the reason why. Like I really love this manga. I think this manga will probably be in my top 10. Would I put it in my Mount Rushmore? No, but the anime is definitely a Mount Rushmore anime, and like
Yeah.
the
Yeah. I
animation
agree with
just,
that.
no, yeah, like definitely. But just reading this, it's just a different feel than when you're watching it. I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed through and through. I think the mystery of the mystery of the Elric brothers, especially when you're talking about Edward, because throughout the story you got like three big things. You got like the military and like the bullshit the military was on, especially with the Islavans and all that. You got Edward's story and his like family story and the reason why he even got into alchemy. And you got like the homunculus and the homunculus
Yeah, homunculus.
homunculus. You got them and like really what the shit they're trying to do, and to see how they just connect all these stories throughout. Because bro, Ed really didn't even, bro. Ed don't fuck with the military like that. Like
Oh yeah, nah.
he don't, like, he really don't be fucking with the military niggas. He's like, listen, bro, I only joined this because I need to get stronger and I need the resources and I need the freedom to be able to do the shit that I want to do. So it's cool to like see him go into the military with his own already own goal of, listen, I'm trying to get me and my brother's bodies back. I'm trying to find a philosopher's stone. How do I make a philosopher's stone? Like whatever. And this is what I'm about. This is what I'm trying to figure out. And then you see him though, just because he's a part of a military, automatically he's thrown into the whirlwind of the dark secrets that lies behind the military, and who's really for who, and what they what's
Yeah.
that's really about. And it's crazy because he really doesn't give a fuck about it. He's like, listen, I'm just trying to get my body back. But the more and more that he finds out and the more that he learns in an attempt to getting his body back, the more and more he learns of just like, damn, like the military is, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a mad
Yeah.
corrupt system, and this is like, all these things happening behind the background of, you know, who King Bradley really is, and like what's the real goal, and why the Islam like war and genocide ever really happened. Like it was, it was crazy just to see how they take this kid who just doesn't really know what's going on in the outside world, and in terms of like he doesn't care. It's not like it's not in front of him, but it's like he doesn't care because he's so caught up in his own mission. And to see him
Exactly.
like his mission though end up becoming something bigger than even he could imagine. Um, it's just so dope to see.
Exactly. And then I one thing I do love about it, I think in as a part of the anime versus the manga, one thing I do like is the manga drops you like directly, like the anime does it too. They drop you like in the middle. Ed has already become a licensed alchemist, but then they kind of like, I think maybe 3 episodes in, they go into his backstory, how he transmuted his mother with his brother, and his brother lost his body, and Ed loses his arm and leg, and he tries to transmute Al back, and he puts him in the suit of armor. So you see that at the beginning of the anime, But in the manga, they don't really give you the full story until probably like chapters in. Like we already get the story with Rose and the priest at the beginning. That's like chapter 1 to 3. We get all of that information, and they start dropping like subtle hints to things that have already happened in the story. And we start to see, we follow Ed and Al on their journey to discover what the Philosopher's Stone is, how to make it, who to go see, and all of these things that are happening. And we get introduced to so many characters who are intertwined with the military, with the Ishvalan War, the stuff that has been going on, everything that these scientists and other alchemists have discovered. And we start to uncover what the quote unquote truth is and what alchemy is. And we see all of these different dynamics between alchemy, what people use it for, how they view it. And it's just a crazy roller coaster ride as you follow Ed and Al on their journey to just get their bodies back. That's literally all they want. Everybody else wants something different with the Philosopher's Stone. People who don't even know what the Philosopher's Stone is don't really care about it. But when you're involved with the military, like everybody has their own agenda. Mustang, who he wants to become the top, and when you see why he wants to become the top officer, why he wants to take Bradley's position because of the Ishvalan stuff and the Ishvalan War, why Hughes supported him, why Hawkeye is so important to Mustang, why his teacher, why Izumi can use alchemy without a circle, all of these different things. Like you see just subtle hints of things happening in the story just by following Ed and Al, and it all ties back together. Like the entire journey is so great to follow. And I think that's what makes Full Metal Alchemist so perfect when you see all of these things happening. They're all intertwined, and as it all just comes back together. It's so good, dog. Like,
No, it really is. And once again, they don't bullshit you in this story, bro. Like they push this joint along. They like, listen, we not no fillers, no what I'm
yeah,
saying, no thrills, no guilt, none of that. Like they like we got a story to tell. And I'm saying, this feels so much like a story more than an adventure because how they push it through. They will introduce these things, these different mysteries, and um they just keep the story moving forward. I think it sort of felt more like an adventure type story. um if they continue to like, okay, we're doing this, and then hold on, like let's make it lighthearted for a little bit, and like here's this little side mission. Like no, like
yeah.
there is no like little side missions. Like everything is connected to something
Well,
bigger.
there's one side
um
mission, and but it's connected to like the main mission, and it's like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like but like they don't go off and like Ed and Al are now going shopping in a whole nother city for for Granny. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's like nothing like that. Like they're not gonna they don't bullshit you like that throughout the story, which is just really great. Then they just you get you get very like emotionally connected with their goal.
yeah,
Um, because these boys are really like, man, like, they have to wear this. First of all, they have to hide this shame. Like not even many people know why they have lost their bodies, or why their bodies are the reason, no, the way they are.
yeah,
Slowly other people figure out, as they figure out, they try to revive back their mother. But like, man, you really see these dudes like, they're really young, and like they have to really, they have to really be adults in a sense of, they have to be really strong and like stone face about, bro, we make this like huge and terrible mistake that cost us our lives.
yeah,
And they're strong in the face of it, but then you also see these moments of weakness where they see how their shit gets everyone else caught up.
yeah.
Especially, once again, going back to like Hughes, like that moment is so big in the story because I think that is the first real time where they're like, yo, like our mistakes in our past pretty much has gotten another person killed
Yeah.
in and so it's just throughout this whole story, man, you just see it. I think the fighting in this, the action scenes are all real great.
They're also pretty funny too when
Each
you see like them using wit to outsmart each other,
yeah,
and
you know what I'm
sometimes not
saying?
even directly fight.
Nah, for
Like
real.
it's really fun to see like all the different like dynamic, like the action is great, like you said. One of my favorite things is like, I want to go back to it. We talk about like the theme of family, and that's why we chose this. But a bigger theme in this, when you think about it, is the concept of dying and the cycle of rebirth and all of these things, and understanding whatever the truth is, and them trying to like, we have to accept death, but we can do things with living people. Like we have to accept and cherish living people while they're here. And so I think when you see them go through all of these things, like with the Ishvalan War, with Ed and Al trying to get their bodies back, and them talking to like other people about the mysteries of the Philosopher's Stone, and the homunculus and their goals, I think that theme of death and accepting life is pretty powerful. And I think it's when it ties into the concept of family and accepting who they are. I think, especially when you think about their father and why he left in the first
Mm-hmm.
place, it's so crazy. Like,
Hey,
we
Ed might be the only nigga I know that hate their daddy more than me.
did it.
Hey, Ed saw his daddy at the grave. It was like, yo, this wasn't mom's spot. I'll sock your shit right now. He was like, ah, wow, beat your ass. Ooh, if this wasn't mom's spot. Ooh, I don't know. Crank this. He started swirling his arm. He was mad. That moment was crazy. That was
Yeah,
like, bro, that was a heavy moment. Like first time he saw his dad, I was like,
yeah,
damn. Like his dad's talking to his wife, and he's yelling at her. He's yelling at him while he's talking to the grave, and his
yeah.
dad's ignoring him.
He's just talking on his
Crazy
own thing. He's like,
moment.
why? So you could just abandon us again and like da 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 da
Mm.
da, like you bullshit ass bastard ass, like just go off. I'm like,
Oh man, so funny. Hey, we're gonna talk about though how Ling is the best character in this.
low
I'm,
key,
I'm, I'm
low key. I'm kind of with
Ling.
low key. I'm kind of with you
Hey,
there.
listen. Oh man, listen, I'm Ling high. Greed Ling.
Yeah,
Greed Ling is way better than the original Greed. Original
yeah,
Greed was funny though.
yeah,
But nah, when Greed Ling came through, that shit was crazy. But no, I like how I want to go back to how you're talking about like it's about life and death because they do bring that up of just this like equal exchange
yeah,
of power. Like you gotta whatever you get or whatever you take, you have to give the equal amount back. I mean that's literally the basis of alchemy.
yeah,
And life, like you said, life, death, immortality, like these things are all a part of it. And when you really get to the end, you see the big reveal of Ed pretty much finally finding the truth.
yeah,
um it's crazy because it just ties into, I think, just everyday living of, bro, like everything's in a cycle
yeah.
of you give to the earth gives back, you give to the world, the world get no whatever you take from the world to give back to the world type stuff.
Yeah, when
And
like one of the biggest things where we learned that early on is when Ed and Al are on the island by their teacher and she's trying to take them on. He's like, you have to survive for 1 month, and I need you to understand what all is one and one is all means. And like they get attacked by the shopkeeper who's dressed up in like the helmet thing, and they're on the verge of death. But obviously, because he's their friend or the shopkeeper, like their teacher's friend, he's not gonna really kill them. So he just feeds them and is like just starting to talk to them, and they start to understand like, yo, you gotta cherish life more. If you don't want to die, just fight, dog. Like fight for what you want to believe in. Like fight to live, And when she comes back and she's like, what is the world? Like what is the saying mean? And they're like, all is the world and one is me. And like that was so powerful. Like it sounds childish when you like see it, but when you like think about it in the grand scheme of things, and like as you go through the story and you see all like the cycle of reincarnation, cycle of rebirth, all of these things, like these deeper themes that go on in the story, it's crazy. Like it's really powerful, it's really crazy, and that theme is so emotional, bro. Like I ain't gonna hold you
it is.
when you
I
see.
mean, because it's because it's such a big part of like the brothers' story of them having to accept their mother's death, them having to accept like pretty much that they father dipped out. Like there's I think sometimes when we're talking about this whole give and take and this equal balance of give and take, I think one thing about that whole theme is acceptance of what you get back,
Yeah,
or like acceptance of also like what life takes from you. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like, throughout this story, that's such a big thing for the brothers of acceptance of either their past and all these traumatic things that has happened to them, and you really see it at the end. I think Al's moment of when Al in a sense kills himself. Sorry guys, big spoiler if you haven't read it.
That
Big
it's still
spoiler.
pretty out of context.
Yeah, it's still pretty. He, quote unquote, kills himself. I think that is such a powerful moment of Al's acceptance of this is, I lost my body for a reason. I was fucking around. It was playing with some stuff that I shouldn't have been playing around with when I should have just accepted my mom's death, and that's why I know my body got taken away from me.
Yeah.
So, it's like that acceptance. And granted, he was trying to save his brother also. But I think just like that moment, like for me, how I read it was just like, yo, this is him accepting, like, yo, like, you know what? Like, this body's not permanent anyway. Like, death is gonna come for me regardless.
Yeah.
So like, why not accept this moment for what it is? And then that, and Ed having his, realization moment at the end where he is now meeting the truth again, aka Umar. There's a lot of Umar talk in this podcast. A lot of Umar talk. Just even that moment of, him finally meeting the truth and, and giving up what he has to give. So I don't know. I mean, it's great, especially, I mean, we even got to the, homunculus and talking about, even their stories of, you look at, I think Pride got like one of the coolest stories throughout this,
Yeah. I was about to say,
like, especially,
real quick, can we
what
talk
you gonna
about
say?
how Bradley been in their pocket since day one?
Hey, bro, listen, Bradley OP, bro. Bradley, man. Bradley was groomed. Bradley mad OP. Bradley he was living a wild life. But I mean, you can do what you want. You can do what you want when you got that type of power, bro.
Exactly.
He was living crazy, bro. You can do what you want though when you got that type of power. Like he was living absolutely all types of reckless. He was killing his own. Hey, when he first snatched up the greed at first, he was like, I'm taking your ass back to the house. Father was like, oh, so you have returned. He was like, man, who the hell is this nigga? He was like, oh, meet Rav. He been around for a little bit. He a new guy, but he's probably my best creation yet. Man, dog, like for real. So if you have not read Full Metal Alchemist, or if you have, I mean, this is a very general discussion about it, but if you have not read it yet, definitely read it. It's a great story, full of twists and turns. You get some family drama. You get some Shao Tucker family drama. You got
Jesus
some,
Christ.
you what?
I fucking hate you, dog. Hey yo, low key, I love the Chimeras though. Besides the bullshit with Shao Tucker, I love the Chimeras, bro. Cause it like the dog nigga.
Wow, you brought up the dog, huh? The
Not
dog man?
yes, dog nigga,
Eh?
not
The
dog
dog?
girl, dog
The
nigga, bro.
dog?
Like
We're rigging up the dog, the canines, eh?
I hate this nigga,
Okay,
bro.
I was
Like
the bad guy. I was the bad guy, and I was the bad
I
guy,
literally
huh?
said, you know what? Fuck it, fuck it.
It's a really great story. Like I said, like it, you really just get dived in. Like it's really a story that just so happens to have pictures. I would legit read this in like
Yeah,
novel form. Like that's how good this is, and like that's what I enjoy so much about it. So
yeah.
if you haven't read it, you should definitely tap in. If you have read it, you should just reread it again because it's 108 chapters, and you could blow through that in like 2 days if you're gonna be really real.
If you don't feel like reading it, go watch
Oh
it.
yeah, if you haven't watched it, watch it.
Go watch Brotherhood. It's fantastic. If you don't want to read, you feel like manga ain't the thing for you, go watch Brotherhood. You will get so much out of it. Like either or, both of them are very fantastic.
You like the original?
I like the original. I haven't seen the original in a long ass time, but I like the original. Like to be honest, because they say while I remember the ending being non canon, they kind of portrayed Ed's dad to be like more of a villain, and it's kind of like we know that they're two separate people even though they look alike, and they explain it in Brotherhood in the manga, but in the original it's like, bruh, fuck this nigga's asshole, you know what I mean? They start to incorporate real world elements because the movie goes into like Germany and they travel through like different dimensions, and it's crazy, bro. So like I like the original for like the ending that it tries to tell, but if you want the true story, Brotherhood. without a doubt.
Yeah, nah, watch Brotherhood. Definitely is a Mount Rushmore anime, but you should definitely read it too. It's definitely just another just really great read, really fast read. You get really into it. You get into like all the mystery, the twists and the turns, the Philosopher's Stone, all that. Man, bro, listen, it's crazy. Um, but yeah, man, this has been a fun long episode of the Big Eyes podcast. Thank you so much for sitting with us. We don't went everywhere. Went from One Piece to My Hero, and then we talked a little bit about Full Metal. So
Yeah,
this was fun.
got to go back to our regularly scheduled program next
Yeah,
week.
man. Next week we back to regular scheduled program, and there's a lot of stuff that got left out this week. So
Can we talk about the December manga of the month thing? Like,
okay, so yeah. December manga of the month. You want to say the theme now?
I mean, we don't have to say it now.
You don't want
We
to
can
say it now?
introduce it later.
Okay,
I mean,
listen.
we can say it now, so like everybody can get prepared and like we have that discussion at the end of the month.
All right, so for show, that poll is going up today because this is dropping on the 30th, and I want to get to reading immediately because y'all gonna fuck around. Y'all gonna fuck around and choose the long one. I'm gonna choose the 300
Exactly.
Y'all
I'm
gonna
not
fuck
trying
around.
to do that.
Y'all gonna mess around and choose a long. I already know, man. I'm not.
Can we just not put that on there?
Oh,
Can
it's
we
gonna
just like exclude that?
we cannot exclude it, bro. We cannot exclude it. We would get crucified if we exclude it, and there is no way in hell I'm gonna allow myself to get crucified over volleyball. I'm not getting crucified over volleyball.
I don't blame you because I ain't trying to do that shit either, dog.
Man,
Like,
listen, they gonna, bro. If we leave this on, so the December theme is gonna be mangas that ended this year. So we're gonna have our Promised Neverlands. We're gonna have our Demon Slayers. We're gonna have our Haiku, and I don't know what the other option is gonna be. I don't
well,
know.
it can't be Attack on Titan because it's not going to be finished in December. So we lucked out with that.
Yeah, bro. I don't know what Attack on Titan's doing, but I mean it's returning. The season 4 starting. So
Yeah.
all right, yeah.
I don't know.
We'll figure out
We got
whatever the fourth one. I'll figure it. We'll figure it out.
it,
But
it's probably not going to matter because of those first three.
no,
But
it's
we
definitely not
gotta
gonna
we
matter.
gotta.
To be honest, we might as well just charge just keep it the first three, and then the let the chips fall where they may. So yeah, that's gonna be our manga of the month theme for December. Is going to be mangas that have ended this year. We got something else special planned for you guys for the holiday season. So, but man, thank you guys for tuning into this episode of the Big Eyes Podcast. Hope everyone had a safe and happy Thanksgiving. AD, what's our sign off?
Please read more manga, watch more anime, drink more water, and take care.